All right, guys, welcome back. It's been a little bit since we did a little catch up podcast for Northern Illinois wrestling. Yeah, just kind of been busy. There's a lot going on. Conference tournaments are finishing up, dual meets, end of the year stuff. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, you guys ready for the regional weekend?
Yeah. Is regional start next or this upcoming weekend for everybody now? Every 1, 2, 3, 8, everybody starts at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And right now is
What
girls
a
regionals, correct?
Yeah, last weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I don't understand. Why do they start earlier if their tournaments at the end? But I think it's just like proximity, getting people the weekend off or whatever. But yeah, regional starts this weekend. A lot of a lot of teams are kind of positioning themselves for the team state. Whoever wins the tournament as a team will proceed to the sectional team after the state tournament. So we are just talking about that off air. We're kind of looking at the Oregon sectional and the four regionals that feed into that sectional is the Port Byron Riverdale, Byron individual, Peru, so St. Bede, and Marengo.
All right, so who's all in the Oregon? Well, I guess it's the Oregon sectional, which would make it the Byron regional.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
wherever it's held, that's what you name it, right?
Yeah, that's where the region. So the Byron
Okay.
regional. Obviously, we can start
who's
there.
all in the who's in the Byron regional? Oregon,
We got
Byron.
Byron.
It's
Yeah, we got Byron, Dakota, Durand, Galena, Genoa, Kingston, Lena Winslow, Oregon, Boylan Catholic, Savannah, West Carroll, Stillman Valley, and Winnebago.
yep.
All right. All right. Well, speaking of West Carroll, Cole Harrell at 157 should be back Wednesday. I believe the doctor's going to clear him Wednesday to be ready. I saw him Sunday. He had like the boot on or whatever it's called, like when you got a broken
Yeah.
toe.
Yeah.
When you have something broken, he was wearing the boot. But he looks good. He's been riding the Airdyne. He's been doing a bunch of stuff, I guess. So he's stayed in shape throughout it all. But Cole Harrell's projected to be back Wednesday.
And you were saying that was a hand injury?
No, big toe. A bone
Oh, sorry.
in his big toe.
Okay. So how long ago did that happen?
Shit, probably 3 weeks, if not about a month ago. At practice, just like a freak thing, rolling with a big boy, and I think he fell on him wrong, and just somehow, some way, the toe, got crushed.
Yeah. Well, we're going into some individual matchups. Starting in 106, we're going to get to see. Panarail will be there. We've got Jordan Lowe from Oregon.
Yep.
We also isn't the kid from. Oh no, he's at Brandon White's at 13. So
Yeah.
first
Well,
at 106. Those. Go ahead.
Yeah, Cam Whitehead will be there.
Yep, from Winnebago.
So we got Panarail, Whitehead, Lowe. Who else was real tough at 106?
Well, you have from Byron. You have dang it, what's his name?
May look up recent results, but again,
brain fart.
It's all right.
From the 106 from Byron is
Salo. Yeah, he's a tough little wrestler.
Got it. So that's kind of the projected. Salo,
Yep.
did he do better at? Oh yeah, I don't think Winnebago went to the pit.
No,
So
they didn't.
yeah, 106, 113.
I think Salo's like another kid that's like talented but undersized.
Yeah. 113, we're gonna get to see Josiah Perez versus Brandon White. We didn't get to see that in the dual meet.
Yep.
And we haven't seen it all year.
Sure. That'll be a good one.
Who? Oregon, Byron, Dakota, Lena, Boylan, West Carroll. Who am I missing? Oh, Galena.
Yep.
I don't know anybody on the Galena team, which doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, the heavyweight didn't go out. So.
Oh, really? The kid that
Yeah,
qualified
last year. Yeah, he didn't go out.
He got hurt during football, right? Or football practice or something?
Something, and he just decided to focus on football, I think. I'm not exactly sure of the story, but all I know is he's not there. And he was like a first-year wrestler, made it to state, and he's a big boy. He was put together.
Yeah. By the time we hear the rumors from Galena, it travels through Stockton. By the time it gets drugged through Stockton, when it gets to us, it's you know how that goes.
Yeah.
You see what's got it. You can see what's got to pass through to get through Stockton.
Well, 113. Obviously, like I said, Josiah Perez, Brandon White. Josiah Perez is wrestling pretty good the last month and a half.
Yep.
Saw him against Dixon. He looked pretty impressive there. So that'll be a good match. Do you guys have any other matchups going through this regional?
Down low weights, I don't think so. Oregon, Lena. All right, Lena's really. Let's just do this real fast. Lena from 157, 165. What do you want to say? Lena's really tough from fill in the blank to heavyweight. I think it's 57 or 65. I'm not sure. And then it could be 44, and I'd be doing Ayers and Bauer wrong. So I think isn't Lena really tough from maybe 44 and up?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say.
They're come to play.
Yeah, Ayers and Bauer 44, and we got
Detweiler.
Yeah,
I think he's good when he's good. You know what I mean? Like any kid, right? How consistent is any kid at all?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
just a normal thing. Well, let's pick a winner. I'm saying it's between Oregon and Lena. I just don't know who.
You're saying team wise?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's going to be matchups that matter. 65. It's gonna that weight class is going to come down to a Byron. I think this is what happened last year. We kind of alluded to it a little bit, but who's going to win is going to be based on the matchups that maybe aren't head to head in the team race. So, who is Lena going to win that match against Byron or against Brody? If that happens, then it's going to help out Lena Winslow. If Byron kid wins there, then it's going to help out Oregon, I think, right?
Yeah. Who was the man? I can't believe I'm going to forget his name now. Who was the 190 pounder that got pinned last year? He was majoring the kid and he got pinned from Stockton. Brady, dad's super cool guy, tall guy. I can't believe I don't know his name right now. I've known him forever.
I'm not sure. I don't recall either.
I don't know. Remember that, like the 190, he ended up getting pinned, and that's what.
Yeah. It was a heavyweight, I thought.
Yeah, but this is the one that made that happen.
Oh,
There was a big gap up until then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it.
Damn it, I don't know his name now. Brady.
Now you're gonna make me look it up.
Look it up because that's gonna drive me nuts. And I'm sorry for not remembering your name. And then as soon as I know your name too, I'm gonna dog you for a second, even and make it worse.
Yeah.
Damn, what was his name? I can see him. Dad's tall guy.
Who did he wrestle, Jim? Who did he wrestle?
Somebody that he was majoring. So I don't really know. It'll come back to me as soon as I hear his name.
And that was in regionals or that was in sectionals?
Regional.
Oh, wow.
Brady.
Well, it might take me a little bit to.
How do I look here? I'm going to look up last year's Abe's Rumble, and then that'll be the fastest thing. That'll just teams. Watch this, Abe's Rumble. Man, I'm bad at this.
Yeah, I mean, looking up results from past years is a little harder, but
teams. Select the team. Oh, I don't want to go to results. I just want to go to teams.
I have trouble keeping track of some of our kids, let alone other kids from different towns.
Yeah.
Unless you spend some time with them and you've been around them a little bit.
Yeah, I'm almost there, but I got it now.
It's not Jeremiah Luke.
I got it.
Who was it? Brady Haas.
Oh, you.
Man. Yeah. And it was at 165. It wasn't even at 190. So
okay, I wouldn't have got it.
my names are all
Yeah, because Jeremiah Luke was at 190.
yeah. So Brady Haas he's up like 10-1 and then gets pinned by who? Damn it, I didn't want to back out. I had Bowden Delaney's track wrestling profile pulled up because I was going to talk about
Rogers from Stillman.
that. Okay. So he gets pinned there, and then then it made it close with whoever, like first and second became a race then, and then the heavyweight from Stockton got pinned, and that was it. So what I was going to say is Byron didn't win the regional. Brady Haas lost it for Stockton. You know what
I mean,
and that stuff can happen, man. That's the thing about it.
So do you think like the favorites are Lena, Oregon going in?
Yeah.
Team.
I think so with the duels, I mean, if you look at the duels and what they've won, I think that's kind of
dual results. Yeah, dual results. Oregon and Lena are clear number ones. I mean, now it is a tournament, so that does change things,
right?
Where, like a 6-point kid from Oregon, Josiah Perez, meaning he's probably going to get bonus points the majority of the time. He'll have a potential good match with White from Dakota. So that's, I mean, maybe he's a decision kid that day and not a bonus point kid.
Yeah.
So it's all changed. Yeah. I mean, it'll be cool, right, to see who wins it. I think,
it's not going to be a dual meet between Oregon and Lena. It's going to be kind of a mixed match, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's where the exciting part is going to come into it. And fireworks are going to happen. They always do. You know what I mean? Unexpected things happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting. You want to jump around to another regional?
Pull up the Marengo one because we're in that one, but I don't know who's in it. All I know that's in our regional is Marion and Richmond Burton. Those are the only two teams I even know that are in regional.
Got it. Jason, you got that? Or
yep,
I have it.
We got Elgin, St. Edwards, Huron, Johnsburg, Marengo, Poplar Grove, North Boone, whatever, Richmond Burton, Schaumburg, West Chicago, Wheaton Academy, Wheaton, St. Francis, and then Woodstock, Marion.
Okay. So there's some. Marion obviously has a handful of good kids. Richmond has a handful of good kids, and Wheaton has a handful of good kids.
Yeah. There's a Johnsburg kid too that's ranked, I think, pretty high.
What weight?
Lightweight, I think.
Okay. So I think
13. I want to say what's it? Let's see. No,
I think it'll be similar to last year. Marion and Richmond be 1 and 2, 2 and 1. However you want to, you know what I mean? Like Richmond's a super good tournament team this year.
Yeah, they are.
I think you have a healthy Emmett Nelson. You have the new Nelson Leland, who's good. Obviously, he's ranked 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Blake Livedall, he's a problem. Their heavyweight won the pit tournament.
Yep.
They have a handful more. I know they do, and I'm not dismissing them intentionally. I'm dismissing them because I'm not in my groove yet. You know what I mean? I couldn't even think of Brady Haas's name. Marion, I think we see Spinolis is really, our 106 pounder is really starting to turn it up, I think,
The guy I was thinking about, just to jump in, was Landon Johnson. Is right now we got him at number 7 at 138.
138, okay.
Yeah.
And I believe we have Alvarado at 38.
Yeah. But that'll be a matchup.
What is Estacio back now, or is he?
He's back. I saw a reel from Danny Martinez. I didn't mean to say little Danny. From Danny Martinez, and Nick was practicing. Like it looked like he was wrestling live.
That's good.
I meant to say little reel or little clip.
Yeah, little clip.
Little clip.
Yeah, you can't consider Danny too little. Short, maybe, but maybe not so little.
He looks good in that red Marion shirt at the duel you guys had on the last one. He stood out very well.
How does he look at the top of the quarter with the Gucci flip flops?
Well, that's what I was missing. I didn't know, really who he was. He's letting that hair go a little bit too,
He came out of the water.
Island.
He came out of the water, Dalton, where the flip flop fucking slid up his leg, like all over.
Well, and he comes out of the water and he just slicks his hair back, just made it a big. I'm like, what is going? Are we doing a commercial here?
Slow motion and everything.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, he's the Mexican version of the Big Lebowski, right?
Yeah.
With that hair. Yeah, so that's good. That's at 65, right? Jim?
Estacio, yes, 65.
Yes, 65.
And so Estacio.
So he'll see the 65 from Wheaton, who is.
Yep.
We just talked about him.
Yeah,
he took third at conference. He lost to Adam Haddad. I can see him. I can't even say his name.
He's got blonde hair, doesn't he? Bleach his hair blonde.
Yep. Crail Griffin.
Yep.
No.
Sorry.
Crail definitely don't have blonde hair.
Tyler Jones. Yeah.
Who's Richmond 65 pounder? I'm sure it's somebody good.
Richmond 65. Dylan Falaska. He lost the Johnsburg match. Then there's Duke. Blake Livell 75. Dylan Falaska. So, not really sure.
No.
But if I look at let's see, 65. So there's two ranked guys. 75. We've got Benson. We got Livedall. Is he wrestling anybody?
Livedall.
He just beat somebody because there was.
Because Marion doesn't have a 75 pounder, right?
Or not really.
Back and forth, right? There's a couple different guys going in.
Josh Gronkowski weighs in.
Yep.
I think at 65 in this for duels. So.
So it looks like that's all Livedall at 75. 90. Jimmy, is he wrestling anybody there?
I have no idea because I don't know who's at Marengo.
Oh, well, I mean, we rattled them off. We got Elgin.
No, I don't know who's at Marengo, kid-wise.
Oh,
I'm not sure if Marengo's got, some kid they've left. The kids that have been chained up behind the milk shed, those are the ones you got to watch for.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, speaking of milk shed, going back in the lighter weights, 126, that one's going to be a good one. We've got Gavin Ekberg and Marchese. Nick Marchese, so that's going to be a fun top matchup. Medulla as well, I think. Medulla's from Richmond, right? Yep.
That does sound familiar.
Yeah. Medulla's been high ranked. I mean, he's right up towards the top. So we got three really good wrestlers at 126.
Richmond has a handful of wrestlers.
Yeah. Do you think they can pull this off? Like, what? I mean, does it? I mean,
I here's the truth. I don't think. Let's just say Marion goes there and falls apart, and Richmond's having a great day. I don't think they win. I don't think they want to win it because if Marion wins it, Marion's automatically 2A next year. They're forced to be a 2A team next year. With all the past, we won't even bring anything up. With all the past of nobody wanting Marion to be a 1A team, here's your chance for Marion not to be a 1A team anymore. You know what I mean? I don't think, even if you could win it, I don't think you win it.
You don't think Tony Nelson would love that?
I think he'd love to. I don't know, man. It'd almost be like it's temporary, If you win it, it's only temporary. Down to that bug bite's coming back to itch you all next year again. If you can just get rid of the bug bite altogether, the itch goes away.
I don't know the rules on how do people go back down. Do they ever go back? They have to go back at some point. Like, will JCA go back? I mean, they don't have a tremendous season right now, but
and the way they're seated, they're getting. Did you see the
No, I did not.
Somewhere I saw the 3A seating. You have Marist and Mount Carmel number 1. Like they wrestle each other first.
Marist versus Mount Carmel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, I mean, we could get into that later, but like I said this literally the last time we talked. The dual state tournament is never fully accurate. It's never the top
Right.
teams. Like the person who wins is likely the best team, but outside of that, it's not like in order of merit.
Yeah.
Like the best team has to win all the matches, so they're at least the best team. But the second best team might be because they were on a different side of the bracket. Third best team might be because the third best team got beat in the first round. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. That is annoying and unfortunate. But
Let's talk about the regional that Newman's in. Newman, Erie, Prophetstown. I think Princeton's in that one.
no, Princeton's at the Ottawa one.
Is Orion in that one?
Or the Peru one, sorry.
Yes.
Yep.
It's Erie, Fulton, Kewanee, Morrison, Orion, Port Byron, Riverdale, Rock Falls, Rock Island, Sherrard, Sterling Newman, and Taylor Ridge, Rock Ridge. So
Okay. So I think we'll see. And what we ever figured out, Cale Wright is at 113.
Yeah.
No, I thought he was at one.
No, Cale Wright is number 7 at 106.
Oh,
Yeah,
he is at 106. Okay.
He is at 106. He weighed in at 106 in Oregon on Friday.
So we'll see we'll see him and Landon near.
Yep.
Build it up here so I can see you do it. So I
Yeah.
can tell you.
I mean that's another sectional match or sectional bracket that we got. We've got Landon Neer, Leland Nelson, Cale Wright.
Yes.
Obviously Low, Panarail, and
15 count.
Byron kid.
Yep. Say low.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's the sectional is tough, man. It's tough and it's always a fun one.
Who else do you got at that Riverdale regional? I mean Erie. So that's Erie Prophetstown, right?
Yeah.
Yep, Erie
I'm trying.
Prophetstown.
There's more matchups than just near and right at 106. That's just one that came to mind. So you'll see Briar Ivy will see Wyatt Goosens.
Yep. And Newman and Kelly will see Etheridge. Again.
Well, what about Blake Smith?
Sorry. I take that back. That won't
Blake
be
Smith is there. Yeah. So 57, you'll have Blake Smith,
tough
Ivy, Goosens.
Yeah, that's a tough regional there for that 57.
Yeah. So those are your 3 coming out of there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 157 is. I mean, yeah, you got 3 of those guys, and then you got Kazimirax.
Yep.
And then Julian, and then Detweiler going, and Cole Harrell going into the sectional. So, yeah, let's look at some more brackets that are feeding into that. I mean, Riverdale has a lot, so 32, nothing there. I don't know. I think that one might not be as.
Who was the Sherrard kid that made it to the finals and down at the pit? Wasn't there a Sherrard kid that wrestled in the finals down there against who was that against?
Oh, you're saying you're asking what weight was it?
I remember what weight he was. I can't remember. It wasn't. I want to say like 38, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it was. I thought he was from Sherrard. I could be wrong about that.
Maybe not. I'm looking.
I think he had a pretty good opponent.
No, I got nothing from. They weren't there. Well,
they
might have
weren't
been
there.
there, but
38 was Hitton and Ethan Monson. I'm looking at last year's. Well,
38 was Finch, Eggleston, Reed Custer, Pedro
Reed
Rangel.
Custer, I'm sorry, that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was Reed Custer.
I'm talking about the 60th annual, not the 61st. I was going back.
Yeah. Hey, what did you say about Pedro Rangel again?
Par 5.
Par 5.
He's okay. He medically forfeited. He got like a stinger during the match, kind of panicked, medically forfeited out, but he's okay.
Of the match. I just remember you said that he had a nickname that you knew.
Oh, par 5, yeah. Golf guy.
Golf guy.
I'm assuming he's a golf guy, unless it means something else.
Yeah, the other, so now going to the other regional, the Peru-St. Bede regional, you got Amboy, Aurora, Granville, Putnam County, never heard, Lisle, Mendota, Ottawa, Marquette, Peru, St. Bede, Princeton, Sandwich, Somonauk.
How tough Sandwich, Jason? They're good at 44. Where else are they good?
Well, he was sick. He was there, but they have a few good wrestlers. We were throwing people around in there. Had some JV guys that went in and wrestled. I had a few guys out sick and different things like that seem to happen this time of the year. But I want to say that they were decent in their mid-weights, maybe struggled a little bit in the upper weights. They didn't have a heavyweight.
Blanchard beat Benton at 44. So is Blanchard 38 then? Because didn't you just say Cooper Quarters 44?
Yeah.
It's 38. Actually, that was I actually spoke with that kid's grandpa, and he told me he had they were in the same IESA bracket last year, and his grandson was going through chemo at the time and a whole bunch of stuff, and he was kind of looking forward to that match. He had an autoimmune disease, which had to do some chemo treatments to take care of it, and he's been looking forward to this, and he came through, and he actually worked out real well for him against Benton. Benton's coming back kind of a little bit. Was on concussion protocol a little bit, and now he's finally getting back in the swing of things. So does that happen again? I'm not quite certain, but it did, and it's over with now. But yeah, he's a pretty decent little wrestler. So
who's this? So who's the Josh Lehman? Is that the younger brother?
No, I think he's 1 year older. I think he's 1 year older than Justin.
No, he's younger. When Justin, remember you had him on one. He's younger.
Oh, he is younger.
He can whip Justin's ass, but he's younger.
No. There's a Lehman on the team.
Yeah.
No. That's funny. It's different. The spelling's different.
Oh, okay. I see.
So yeah, he came up to Justin. He's like, "Hey, I have the exact same name as your brother. People mess it up all the time." And I'm like, he was like, "Yeah, that was close, but you are right, Jim. He can whip
Justin's ass.
Butt."
What else you know about the little brother whipping the big brother's
he works
ass?
I know a lot about that too.
I don't know. Yeah, he works out quite a bit. His brother, though, now he's always doing something. He'll just go run for miles. So
yeah. Well, let me say, I don't want to get your. I'm sorry, Earwick. I don't want to get Eric all fired up talking about stuff like that.
Please don't.
Just go back to reading your Roy Obie manual.
Wait, who are you? Who are you talking about?
Eric Danielson, the NASA guy. He every Monday he goes through his owner's manuals and familiarize himself with all his household products, whether it be an electric knife, whether it be a blender, whether it be a deep freezer. He just goes through owner's manuals and checks specs, texts. He goes over everything with a
crosses his T's and dots his I's.
Yeah, torque wrench. Checks everything.
He actually waxes his water softener. Mm-hmm. Like the water softener and the water heater, he waxes it. So It's wild.
How do you wax a water heater?
You know, like it's white. He just gets it all cleaned up and polishes everything and makes sure it's
Oh,
spotless.
interesting.
One thing's
'Cause
out
it-
of place. Problem.
If it's clean and stuff like that, the dust won't stick. The dust won't really stick to it. So
Oh,
he
that's
just,
smart.
yeah.
I got you. Good. You see, you learned something new. You gotta, household cleaning.
He says the alphabet 3 times when he washes his hands. Not once, not twice, 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of things about him, man.
Yeah.
A
Well,
lot.
some people might not be aware. But getting back to wrestling, how do you guys know about who feeds into the sectional? That's already out there though.
I don't know if it's just like past knowledge or how that works. Oh no, it's on that website that link I sent you. It shows you
The schematics, it shows who's coming off
What
what
region's
regional.
going here?
it just
Okay.
shows you who's in the
It's mine. When I click it, it says the link is broken. But
so the Oregon sectional, that one of course doesn't have the list now. Port Byron, yeah, you have Erie, Fulton, Kewanee, Morrison. That's the one we just talked about. Oh, here's the Byron individual. So yeah, Byron, Dakota, Durand. Is there anybody at Durand? Galena.
there's no Durand.
Okay, so no, this is just regional. This is not who feeds into the sectional. I don't know where I got that from.
Yeah, I was just curious if you knew for sure what regionals fed into the sectional, team sectional, to see again which was it Byron? Is it the Byron regional against the Marengo regional, or is it the Peru regional versus the Port Byron regional? So
I can tell you who feeds into the Oregon sectional. Does that help, or do we not care?
well, we know who's feeding into it. It's the winner of the regionals, the winner of the Byron, Marengo, Peru, Port Byron, Riverdale regional. Those winners are going to go into the team sectional, whether or not.
Oh, I thought we were talking
Well, we're
individual
talking
sectionals.
team.
No, I was
Okay.
switching to a team just to see
I gotcha.
see those matchups.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I mean individual. I think it'll be interesting. We could go into even the sectional stuff, but it'll be better to do it next week because we'll have matchups and everything. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was just curious if because I'm clicking on this sectional schematic and it's not coming up. So I think they took it down.
Well, yeah, somewhere along the lines, it shows Marion Central wrestling Princeton. So they're projecting Princeton to win Princeton's projected to win the regional as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oregon is projected to win the regional as a team. Newman is projected to win the regional as a team. Unity's projected to win. Port is projected to win. Hope Academy, Nazareth Academy, OSF, Oakwood Salt Fork.
Well, you say projected. I
Yeah.
say whose projections?
I don't know. I just have it.
I was going to say because our projections obviously is going to come down to Oregon.
Well, you can't really project it. You don't even know yet.
Yeah.
Like of it,
Yeah.
Like you said, next week will be a real better for that.
There's always a couple things that change regional wise. Injuries that we're not aware of, people that don't make weight. These things happen pretty often in the state series. So yeah. Anything else stand out, guys? What about the most recent action? We could jump into a little bit. You guys had a pretty exciting duel. I mean, it was exciting for us as spectators. Oregon versus Dixon, but
no, it was good.
Dixon.
It was. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say Dixon came on strong in the last couple matches and got the bonus and kind of pulled away.
Yeah, it was what I remember when I was wrestling. with fans and the crowd getting into it and the lights and everything. I mean, it was a packed house. Everybody was into it, and that the momentum and it was a really fun environment. Obviously not what the outcome we wanted. We did have some issues with not making weight, and a few kids that were banged up that weren't able to wrestle or chose not to wrestle. And it was just one of those things where the stars didn't align. You know what I mean? But like Dixon people were cool. Everybody's emotions were running hot, but it never turned into anything nasty. And it was fun. It was like you wanted to be there. The environment was awesome. And some of the kids rose to the occasion and some didn't, so, but it was a lot of fun. So,
yeah, that's great. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's what we should all kind of be looking for, really fun events where two teams are competitive with each other and everybody's trying hard, and the fans are engaged in it. I think that creates a fun environment where everybody gets excited about going back to practice and traveling to go to those competitions. So that's a good sign. It's a good sign that there's something there. I'm excited about that. It'll definitely make next year interesting to think about with the broadcasting and getting out to some of these matchups. Over the years, I haven't really known what matchups are the right matchups to go watch. As we've been doing this, I'm learning a lot more about lineups and which ones are going to shape out to be, a lot more interesting. So that's cool.
Well, I think, Oregon has 12 seniors on the team this year, and Dixon has I don't know exactly if it's 8 or 9 that are out. So, I mean, they're getting some new kids in. Oregon's getting a few new kids in, and it'll still be good next year too. I don't know if it'll be as action packed as this year, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, so unrelated to high school wrestling, I think.
Wait, hold on. Let me talk one more 1A thing. Just remember we talked about it last time. Bowden Delaney is at 165. He has wrestled 165. He went out and wrestled the Heart of Illinois Conference tournament. I think he pinned everybody in the first 30, 45 seconds. So Bowden Delaney is certified at 165. Just because, remember, there was a little uncertainty about him.
Yeah, making it.
Yeah.
I mean, again, he made it at the last possible time to make it. It's kind of interesting. You see different people, different strategies. Obviously, the season, if it's a harder cut, sometimes the season can help. But you normally see everybody, get down, certify, get up, and then wait till January to bring themselves back down or go to the big tournaments at that weight class or whatever.
Evan Gaz told me he should be number 1 at 144 still because Zach Stewart doesn't have the wins at 144 that he has. He won at 132 last year, not 144. 144 is Evan Gaz's weight class. He's the number 1 guy. He wants to be number 1.
So now you're talking rankings, 3A rankings.
I know. I just had to say it. I just thought I had to say it.
Yeah. Well, we'll get there. I mean, we can definitely jump to it soon and figure out those. But right now, this is, the local region. I mean, again, I don't know who's in the. Let me look at that real quick. The other regionals, the 2A regionals.
I saw a couple of things. There's the Roxana guys were at a tournament where you win a sword, and Junior and Lyndon both won. I'm sure there's a couple more kids on the team that did win, but
what team are you talking about?
Roxana.
Oh, now you're talking Roxana.
Yeah,
these guys aren't in our woods.
Sometimes they've been. They visit.
Yeah, they do visit. Jumping over the 2A, you got Dixon regional, you got Rockford East regional. Caneland, Morton. I would say that, just Dixon and East and Caneland are kind of in the area. But yeah, it would be interesting to see Dixon if they're good enough to get out of that. that spot. Where's Rochelle at? Rochelle's got to be at East, I would assume. Who's winning that one?
Who else is in that? I don't remember. Nelson said that
Oh, Rochelle's not there.
No, Nelson said that they had a real tough team in their regional. Who the hell was it? Was it Sterling? No, not Sterling.
They've got Geneseo.
Yeah.
So the Dixon regional is Dixon, Freeport, Galesburg, Geneseo, Polo, Rochelle, Rock Island, and then Sterling. So yeah, I mean Geneseo's just so tough. They've got so many good kids, and unless they have like a really bad day, I cannot imagine them losing that one. So it looks like Rockford East might be able to is probably going to be the favorite in that regional. They looked pretty good at conference, although Ty Smart had a really good first period against Max Haskins, and then he broke physically and mentally, and Max just kind of widened the gap on him. But it was a good match. I think he can wrestle with anybody for at least a period. So if he extends that, it could be really good.
Yeah.
All right, let me throw another curveball at you, Dalton.
I got
How
you.
about Emmett Nelson and Ace Christensen at sectionals? Is that going to be as high scoring of a match as it was down at the pit if they see each other again?
I mean, Emmett Nelson looks pretty good. He looks like when he wants to score, he can score.
But do you remember that match? It was pretty wild. It was
yeah,
pretty
but
wild.
it besides a couple of the, I would say a little bit slip ups from Emmett being aggressive, it looked like once he stopped getting kind of wild, he was superior.
Control.
I don't know enough about Ace Christensen, and I haven't watched him wrestle enough, but from that match, I wouldn't pick him closing the gap. I would assume Emmett Nelson is getting, I think he's going to dominate.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked really good.
Okay.
I mean, maybe I was wrong.
It was it was just a wild match, and that Ace Christensen, he doesn't quit, but for whatever reason, that sticks in my head. I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, I mean, Cooper Quarter, it's depending on if Cooper Quarter beats Christensen, because who's going to be the 1, 2, and 3? I mean, that changes everything, right? Because it might be in the semis.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
I mean, Cooper Quarter's probably 1 and 2. So I don't know whose side.
And Cooper Quarter has not wrestled Emmett yet, right?
They did wrestle.
They
wrestled early. Mark Stewart knew it too. Knew the score, knew the tournament. They wrestled somewhere around Christmas. Before Christmas.
And what was the score of that?
I don't know. Emmett won. That's all I know. Mark knew it all too, and I don't remember.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, let me.
Where is Stewart?
Just
looking at this match,
it was just wild.
He just looks so physically dominant. I just don't. I mean, that's just based off of too aggressive, I think. It still can happen, but maybe he's not that crazy aggressive. He looked like he wanted to, I don't know if they got something else going on or why he was upset.
Some beef or something, yeah.
He just looked like he was upset about something. And, but if you look at him, he just looks like he owns the mat. Obviously, this stuff will happen, but it just looks like Emmett can wrestle through all these positions better. So that's my prediction. But
yeah, more under control.
Well, it just looks like he's good. I mean, I would love to see this guy wrestle. More guys at 144, whether it's 2A or 3A. I mean, just looking at 44 and looking at. Isaac Gaines. Has Isaac Gaines wrestled Nelson? Jim, do you know anything about that?
Not yet, at least.
Yeah, and then again, going back to Gaz and him, I think they're good. I think they're decent matches.
Oh, I don't think. Yeah, no, they wouldn't have seen each other anywhere. Obviously,
Yeah.
If they haven't wrestled yet, they're not going to.
Yeah, when you look at that, like when I take the rankings and I go from 3A to 2A to 1A, and like the amount of people who haven't wrestled each other, that's not good. We got to get that changed.
It all depends. I think Jason froze up. Can you hear me, Jason?
Yeah, he's out first. He might come back, but you know what I'm saying with that?
Yeah, no, I think that's that whole I say it like that kid's a victim of his schedule.
Yeah,
Something like that. Yeah, there's you look at some of the records of some of your kids, and it's like, damn, this kid's undefeated coming into teams, individual state or something like that, and then you start looking at who he's wrestled. It's like, well, no shit. They never left the dog never got out of sight that ran away.
which
right?
Again, we've talked about this, and obviously off the cuff, it sounds like again, in the past, coaches had to kind of take a schedule according to the team, right?
Mhm.
Like you had to just go, listen, I got a good individual, but the rest of my team can't go to that tournament because, they're all going to get eaten alive. So you kind of do that stuff. But now, because there's no limit on tournaments, those kids can get into different tournaments. You got to just hustle and tell that guy to be like, we got 4 guys that can come to the tournament.
Yeah.
I think the dynamic of tournaments has to change, and the coach's approach to sending kids to different tournaments has got to adapt, because otherwise you're just going to continue to make it like hard for the best kids to get the best action, the best competition that makes them better. And then on top of that, like you might be holding back a kid from getting recruited because he's just not competing against enough top talent.
Yeah, he doesn't see anybody, and I mean, yeah. Let's
You
be. I
can't.
don't know how much a high school. I don't care what division it is. I don't care how much a high school. I don't know how much a high school state title matters. You know what I mean? Like there's in the big picture.
Well, there's just so many different tournaments that have to do with getting you exposure and getting
Yeah, and that's
you
it. It's not even a secret of what tournaments they are.
yeah,
like
everybody knows.
everybody knows it. So if you're not, I don't know. That's a whole nother tangent to go off on, right? I mean, that's the kids that are victims of their schedules. It's a a victim, meaning not necessarily always a bad way. Like I think our 144 Noah Cerny, he's a victim of a schedule, meaning like everybody he wrestles is a stud. Everybody this kid sees a stud. He's a freshman who's a young freshman, and he's just he hasn't wrestled a normal kid yet. I don't think everybody he's wrestled has just been a killer.
Yeah.
Or you got a kid that's has a kid, or you have a kid that's good, and they don't see anybody because of their schedule. And then when they do see somebody, it's like, damn, well, you're just as good as that kid. You just haven't been wrestling good kids all season. So yeah, no, schedule's huge. It really is.
Yeah, definitely for the high school season, and kind of for what we're doing. We're always trying to talk about that that matchup, or who's the top dog, or whoever. We want to know who's taking it to the next spot or whatever. So,
Yeah.
All right, let's bring on. I think we gotta. He's joining. Look at that.
Oh wow, that's way better.
Way better.
This is on my phone, but the
Yeah,
computer just shut off.
I was going to tell you, your phone is actually sometimes better.
Yeah.
For this stuff.
Okay.
I mean, it just depends, but yeah. Let's. So Hananiga, this is the other regional in the area. That's a 3A regional. I mean, it's got Jacobs, Hampshire, Huntley, Harlem. I mean, Hananiga is going to run away with it. It's not even going to be a challenge.
I think there's a couple individuals, kids at Huntley that are good, and that's all I really know of.
Yeah, Huntley's got
you got Cerny at 90. You got Dvorak at
57.
57.
They also have a 26 pounder? They had a couple guys in the finals at Dvorak. I know obviously it was Dvorak, and then there was somebody else. maybe. Who did
There's-
you say? What was the weight?
190 should be Cerny. There's a Russian kid that's like 175. That's pretty good. I won't even butcher his name. And then, Dvorak's at 57 or 65.
Yeah, 57.
Okay.
Is Dvorak a senior this year?
No, he'd be a sophomore.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're thinking of the Lena Dvorak.
Yeah.
And he'd have been a senior last year.
But yeah, I mean, Dvorak versus Haskins, that will be a good match to see, just to go into the postseason to see if Haskins has what it takes to kind of put himself on the podium. I mean, that's going to be a hard podium spot. I mean, we don't know everybody who's at 57 yet because of, maybe the kids that are, dropping from 65 or moving from 50 or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of movement going on now that Cassiope's at 50. Maybe somebody's going to be jumping. 57
is that all
seems a
official?
little bit.
Is TJ the 44 pounder and Cassiope's 50? Is that like?
Well, like I said
That's
in
what
the
it is?
text, the official will come on Saturday when everybody weighs in. But from what I've gathered, my intel, and it's shoddy at best, but I think he's going 44 and Bruno's going 50.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And then obviously in the state series, who knows, that they could probably drop down and use them accordingly based on that. But
what did he bump up then from last year? He sprouted up a little bit there.
Oh yeah. Well, don't forget he's been off since Fargo, right? Or no? He's been off a while here.
Yeah, Bruno.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's big. He looks good. I mean, I watched him wrestle Connor Demo in practice the other day. I mean, he's a big kid. He also wrestled his little brother, but his twin brother.
Yeah.
Rocco's going to be trying to grow as fast as he can too, probably. Yeah, I mean, but that's it. I think it's going to be a good regional weekend. Get everything started. I'm pumped up about it. I'm going to be at the regional at Hananiga. Jim and Jason. Well, Jim's going to be at the regional at Marengo, and Jason will be at the regional in Byron. So we're going to be in all different places on Saturday, but still we'll be watching what happens and get to the sectional at Oregon. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. You guys watch any college wrestling?
I watched one match. I watched Teamer and Caskins.
No, Kasich.
Kasich.
Yeah,
That's the only one I saw.
that was a good one to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went out to Loris College and watched a couple college wrestlers from Oregon, and Matty Jens, and a few of them were out there this weekend and went to an open tournament. So I did watch a little bit of the duels that I had recorded. But yeah, it's a different level, man. When you get up into college, it's all good,
Yeah. Yeah, but the sport's alive and well. I mean, I don't know if you guys follow that college stuff as much. I know you're busy, but some of the dual meets, they're getting 10,000 plus people at, and college athletics is growing, and I think wrestling is benefiting because of the internet age, and everything's kind of capable of growing faster. There's definitely some bad things that come with that, but there's also a lot of good things. So the Penn State Iowa duel was a great opportunity to display where wrestling's at currently. And then on top of that, the Oklahoma State match with Missouri was just a great opportunity to see that as well. So pretty pumped up.
What a difference between number one and number two, though, right? Like, that's insane.
Well, in a dual meet, that's definitely the case. I'm interested to see what the difference is in a tournament. But Penn State is just, they're just special. They have a phenomenal team that they've developed over the, last couple of seasons. And yeah, it's good.
Well, I did watch a YouTube video. I watched C. Young from Oklahoma State, and I was watching it because I thought it was Colin Young. And I'm looking at it, it's just 149. And I'm like, damn, man, like how in the hell did Colin Young make 145?
That's what Jack said to me earlier in the year. I'm like, no, that's totally different.
And,
Totally
yeah,
different kid.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they
Jackson,
look similar from like while they're
Yeah.
you can't really see them, just a couple blonde-headed kids, you know. And I'm like,
yeah.
what?
Jackson Brown's going out to Iowa and Nebraska on Friday night, so he's going to get to go out and see some good stuff. It's always a fun time out in Iowa. It's really electric out there, man. The fans come and it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, Iowa duels are fun. You know, they just maybe this will pump Jim up. They just put up like Caitlin Clark's jersey in Carver Hawkeye Arena, and Tony Ramos, legendary Hawkeye, was on line today asking if they should be hanging banners of the NCAA champions in the wrestling. And I feel like that would have been the first thing you'd do if you were in Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Yeah.
I'm kind of actually confused why they haven't put up athlete banners, especially wrestling wise. Maybe there's just too many and they just were like, it's not a good idea to start.
I don't know who is that. That's the guy that was like became a girl. I don't even know who that is.
No. No,
basketball player.
She's a basketball player and very good one. And she kind of captivated a lot of people in her college career at Iowa.
Well, then who's the guy that became a girl that's got a name like that?
That you're talking.
There was in prison.
No, you're talking about the Olympian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to get into it, and my
What's his
brain
name?
is luckily. Why am I blanking on this? He's your age.
You went to school with him, Jim.
Yeah. He's a Kardashian
the
or
Olympian that became a girl.
I can't wait to cut this.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Dude, you are way off.
I heard Caitlyn. I stopped listening. I just thought it was automatically that.
Caitlyn Jenner. Okay, now you're way off. Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with basketball, dude.
Yeah.
That's Bruce Jenner, who is a track runner.
Bruce, there you go.
Well, there's my display of ignorance.
Yeah. Well, either way, there was Hawkeyes. The Hawkeye wrestling, Carver Hawkeye is a lot of fun, so that should be cool for Jack to go to.
Yeah.
What do you call him, Jackson Brown?
That's what Jimbo calls him. I call him Jackie Boy, Jackson Brown.
Okay, it's a good song, right?
Jackson Brown's the band.
Oh,
they have a lot of good stuff. Yeah.
What's their most well-known song?
Stay.
Okay. I thought there was another one that I knew. Jackson.
It's if someone yells out Jackson Brown, he automatically thinks it's Jimbo. Jimbo's here,
Yeah.
So.
Well, if nobody else calls him that, other than you. But, yeah, guys. Anything else tonight? You guys think we covered a good portion of that? I'm glad we got together.
No, we're missing one thing. Jason went down to the Leroy tournament. How was that?
He froze. See, I told you that was it.
There he's back. Leroy tournament, Jason. Anything cool down there?
Not really cool, I would say. Nelson Benesh wrestled the
Dauber.
Lost that match. So that to bring that up, the 132. I mean, there's going to be somebody that's going to sit at home coming out of that sectional.
Oh, yeah.
They probably would go any other time, So and a lot of people right now are banged up and the grind of the season and that's when crazy stuff can happen, and I hope that they can push through it and get through it. I think that Oregon was pretty fortunate, as in, yes, we've had kids get banged up and sickness and things which every team has, but it was like a timing thing and kind of everybody's on the right track right now. You go to a school, you never know what you're what's going to go through there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I know there's other kids that are banged up too, but it's like that Carter Sirachi and Kale, what they said to him last year. He had in NCAA's, he had his knee was banged up and he had a bad attitude. And he says, "We can't fix your knee, but you can fix your attitude." You know what I mean? So hopefully these kids can push through it, and we see some pretty good stuff at the sectional. I mean, I know we got to get to regionals first, but at sectionals is going to be very exciting.
Yeah.
Yep, which is why I'm excited to go to that one. There'll just be so much stuff happening, so it'll be a lot of fun.
The Oregon sectional, or we'll call it the Oregon sectional. The Oregon so our sectional last year in Byron was okay. There was a handful of good matchups, but now the prior year we went down and watched some of the
And
kids.
it was in Oregon, yeah.
Yeah, and the Blackhawk Center is just a better place to have it.
Yeah,
I mean, there's only there's one mat that's kind of a bitch to see, and so what? Deal with it. You know what I mean? Figure it out, find a way.
Well, I mean, you could walk over to that, but yeah, it's got good big stands.
Yeah.
But then when the finals come, it's pretty nice setting there for that.
No, I like the Blackhawk Center for that place. There's just a cool vibe. Come finals, come blood rounds, come finals, semis, all the stuff that matter. I mean, they all matter there, but I like it there. That's a pretty cool place to hold an event. And it's I don't know, just convenient. I mean, it's ultra convenient for us, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the only thing I question when you guys look at the layout, how are you guys doing it? Do you think the final layout should just be one line all the way down and do first, third match? Well, I guess that's the hard part. Is first and third.
They do first and first and second, third and fourth right in front of you, so you can sit in the stands, and then the other mats are eliminated at that time.
Yeah.
The rest of them are when the tournament's going on, so it's kind of like a T, I guess you could say, how that's set up. But you got to utilize the space that you have, and people can get around the sides to watch those matches that are further back, and there's some seating and different things there along the sides.
And they throw up a warm-up mat in the back for the kids, which is
there another section of bleachers at Oregon? In the Blackhawk Center, the far side, is there a bigger section?
There's one big section that would be to the north, and then they have aluminum bleachers that they put around the outside of those other mats to watch. But I mean, most of the time you watch a match and then you can go back to your seats. Is what it seems like. And a lot of people Jim likes to stand in a corner, you know what I mean, so he can shake hands and rub babies' heads and stuff like that. So put his back against a wall, you know what I mean, so he doesn't get shanked.
Yeah.
You never know in Oregon, Yeah.
It ain't Oregon. It ain't Oregon that has the problems. So the only one mat, let's just say it'd be along the bleachers, you have 3 mats, 1, 2, and 3, I would think. So
no, along those bleachers, there's just 2 there.
Okay.
And
so then mat 3 would be the one that you have to be on the south or the
east or west side. You can, and the head table will be there, so you'll have to.
That's what I was gonna say. If you're behind the head table, you can't see nothing. But that's 12 feet. You walk 12 feet, and then you can see again.
But it's open all down the center. So if kids aren't standing there or coming through, which they usually police it pretty well, it should be fairly easy to see. I mean, obviously they get away a little bit further if you try to stay in the stands, but if you're able to get up and walk over closer.
I heard Eric Danielson's working security there this year, so that'll be
nobody will getting away with anything.
Nobody.
Yeah, and all of the trash cans will have waxed shiny. Yeah.
They will.
Don't bring your water bottles in. You're buying them at the concession stand.
Yeah.
No outside beverages. Nothing
at all.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We'll cut it off there, guys. Good chat, and we'll see you at sectionals.